everyone. I'm Laura Seddon and you're watching CCTV. We're live in the studio today with two very special guests. Here right next to me I have, what is your full name please?
Mr. John Beasley.
Okay, and next to Mr. John Beasley we have, what is your full name please?
Mr. Barry Brogan.
We'll start with some basic questions. What is your occupation and where do you work?
I'm the head teacher of the most amazing school in Trafford, Woodheys Primary School.
Can we get a similar answer from you, Mr. Brogan?
You can surely. I am a deputy head teacher of the most amazing school in Trafford, Woodheys Primary School.
What is your age?
Ooh, I've just celebrated a very special birthday, which is divisible by 4 and is 40.
Thank you. A bit of maths here in the studio.
I am 39, but I will be 40 in May.
Where do you live?
I live on the south side of Manchester in a beautiful place called Bramwell.
Where do you live?
I live 5 minutes away in Timperley.
So today in the studio we will be asking questions from our audience who are right here. So let's get into that. Who would like to ask their question? You.
Why did you choose to go to the school and why?
I chose to come to this school because I actually started my career here as a newly qualified teacher back in 2002. I loved it so much that when the opportunity came about to become head teacher here, there was literally no other school I'd wish to be head teacher of, so that's why I returned here. Thank you.
Very good answer.
Would you like me to answer the questions? But I was looking for a new challenge, and whenever I went on to various websites and I saw this school, and one of the things that attracted me to the school was the mission statement, which was everyone working together achieves more. And that's why I wanted to be here.
Very good answers. Next question, please.
Do you agree that children should get homework, considering you both have children, and why?
Oh, good question. I do believe that there should be some homework. Homework should be there to extend the learning, but also to involve parents in exciting projects as well. I do think there is a place for homework, but I wouldn't want it to overtake the balance that we want to create of having fun, relaxing, but also working alongside with your parents as well.
Mr. Brogan.
I share the same idea as Mr. Beasley. I like homework as a parent that I can do alongside with my children. So I like doing projects. I like doing research. I like going to the library to research stuff with the children. I like doing stuff that we can get on the iPads together and create stuff using iMovies and things like that. I'm not really fond of doing lots and lots of the same types of activities that you can do in school. But yeah, project work and creative work at home, I love doing that.
Next question, please.
Do you think that primary schools should ban mobile phones and social media apps, and why?
Mr. Brogan. Mr. Beasley, you first.
Right. There have been quite a few problems in many primary schools to do with social media. I believe that it is a fantastic tool for learning, and I think as adults and as teachers we have a responsibility to teach the children in the school how they can best use social media to make the most of it. So I think we need to teach you how you can police yourself and see how you can stay safe online. Banning mobile phones within school, I don't see the reason why a child would need a mobile phone within the school day, but I do see the need for certain children of certain ages, if they're walking home, that they do have that security that would be able to call for help if need be.
Yeah, I don't want to repeat too much of what Mr. Beasley said, because really that I share the same things. As a school we use Twitter quite a lot. Maybe there's something along the lines of later towards the year sixes that we could get them involved in that, so they can sort of share on blogs of the parents of things that they're doing. But yeah, other than that, I think that it's a sensible thing to educate the children on how to use it appropriately, and mobile phones other than walking home are not really needed in school.
Next question, right at the back.
What was your favourite subject when you were in school and why?
My favourite subject when I was at school, I had two favourite subjects. One of them was art. I found it really, really hard, but I had the most amazing art teacher who inspired me to always do my best. And although my work wasn't always the best, it was the best that I could do. My other favourite subject was anything to do with outside learning, PE especially. I was a very keen sportsman and I still love sport to this day.
Very good answer. We all love some sports. Mr. Brogan.
I have two. I did like theology and philosophy, so I liked that because I got to debate, and I agree. And I had a fantastic teacher who encouraged us to debate and to challenge ideas. And the other one that I loved was I loved English. I absolutely love reading and I love writing, so they were my two favorite subjects.
Next question from our live audience here in the studio. Beck.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
Mr. Brogan, do you want to take that one first? I'll see if you're hogging the limelight a bit.
My most embarrassing moment was at school. Well, one particular fundraising event required me to dress up as a Spice Girl. I don't know if you can remember the Spice Girls, but I had to dress up as Sporty Spice one year, and had to wear a little crop top and a skirt and had my hair in a buns and tried to do a cartwheel on stage, which didn't end up successful.
Mr. Beasley.
I think one of my most embarrassing moments, I was in year 6 and it was a year 6 versus staff very competitive rounders match, and I'd been having a bit of banter with the year 6 there, saying I was going to knock the ball out of the school, and I was caught out very early on, and the year 6s didn't take long to sort of bring it to my attention of how I haven't been the most aspirational sports person.
I think we can all remember that day. Next question, right at the back of the studio again.
What hobbies did you have as a kid? What do you like now?
Okay, I loved Lego as a child. I used to love building things, creating things. We had something called Technic Lego, so it had engines in, things like building toys, cars, movable objects. Also sport, which obviously you've seen. I do love sport, and that's why I'm really trying to develop the sport and opportunities here at this school. Football in particular, supporting the best team, which is not this colour, actually Manchester United.
That was your second question, so there you go.
Okay, Mr. Brogan.
I love to play computer games whenever I was, and I still play computer games even now. I've got a PlayStation 4, I've got an Xbox One, and there's a Switch in the house. There's a lot of gaming goes on in my house, so I've not really grown up from that point of view. And I also I'm keen into my sport as well. I've got a green belt in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm going from a blue belt in April time or something like that as well. So yeah.
Okay, next question.
Have you ever played a video game? If so, what is it and did you enjoy it?
Oh, my two boys are football mad and they love FIFA 19. They beat me every single game, although I did score the most amazing bicycle kick from Ronaldo, and it was top quality with a beauty. Would I be able to recreate that? Did I know exactly which buttons I pressed? Possibly not, but I won't tell my children that, and please don't you tell them that either.
Okay, Mr. Brogan, what are your thoughts on this very interesting question?
I don't really get much time at the minute because I'm very busy during term time. Just thought I'd put that one in there, you know, for the head teacher sitting next to me. But during school holidays, I managed to complete Spider-Man on the PS4. I've got FIFA 19 for the Xbox, which I play with my son, who's getting into gaming at the minute, and I play a lot of Mario Kart.
Okay, next question.
What did you want to be when you were little and why?
Coming to you first, Mr. Brogan, this time.
At didn't really have an idea. When I was 16, I went on a work placement to my local primary school, and I came home at 16 years of age and I said to my mum I want to be a teacher. Because I love working with children and I love the excitement of it, and that not every day, even at that age, was the same. So yeah, I've always wanted to be a teacher.
Okay, Mr. Beasley.
See, I had a passion for biology, and I wanted to actually, and sports, I wanted to combine the two to be a physiotherapist. Things didn't quite work out in that field, and both my parents were teachers, so I had a lot of knowledge of what teaching entailed. So again, similarly, I went on a work experience and went into the classroom, in a year 5 classroom in a place called Pickering. Loved it and thought, do you know what, I think I'd be pretty good at this, and I've just followed my dream ever since.
Okay, next question.
Point at someone. Choose someone.
Let's go for Millie.
Do you have any kids, and how old are they? What do they enjoy?
I have 3 children. I have Harry, who's 8, Arthur, who's 6 just on Monday, and Florence, who's 2. As I've already said, both my boys play a lot of football. Harry plays for Manchester City. Arthur actually plays for Manchester City and Manchester United. And Florence watches on quite a lot. She's 2.5. She's becoming quite interested in many things, from dolls to football as well. So who knows? She might be a future star along with her other brothers.
Okay, Mr. Brady.
Evie and Alfie. Evie's in year 6 and Alfie is in year 3. Evie and Alfie, they're pretty similar to me really. They do jiu-jitsu with me on a Tuesday. They like gaming. We do a lot of bike rides and running and things like that. Evie's an excellent swimmer. Alfie's very good at jiu-jitsu. So yeah, we muck in and do everything together really.
Okay, next question. Odd.
Do you like sports? If so, what's your favourite team?
Already answered that question. Manchester United.
Mr. Brady.
I'm actually a Gooner. I support Arsenal.
I support City. Next question. Millie.
Do you think it's unfair that men footballers are paid more than women footballers, and why?
I do actually think there is a big disparity between male and female footballers. I've watched a lot of female football, and the female footballers, Manchester City in particular, are phenomenal, and I do think that something needs to change. I know there's a lot of history in that, and there's progress being made towards the amount of female professional football clubs, which is in the increase now, and I think it needs to close the gap and improve.
Mr. Brogan.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I speak from the point of view of I've got a daughter, so I wouldn't want my daughter to ever pursue a career or have something happen where somebody's getting paid more than her whenever I think she's actually just as good at doing that. So I always think of it from the point of view of when my daughter gets to that stage of choosing a career, that I want her to be paid equally and fairly to anybody else in the workplace.
Next question. Tala.
What was your least favourite subject at school and why?
Mr. Brogan.
It's one of those really weird things that I try and explain to children. I really didn't like maths at school. It was one of those sort of things I didn't like it, but I love teaching it as an adult now. But yeah, maths was one of those subjects. So I understand when children find maths difficult in the classroom, and I see that whenever they get that little feeling in their stomach and they think, oh, it's very difficult, it's very hard. But yeah, it was one of them subjects at school that I didn't like.
Fair enough. Mr. Beasley.
For me, I loved maths, and I was quite talented at maths. I found it quite easy, but writing and reading, spelling, handwriting, my handwriting was atrocious, my spelling was even worse. I hated reading out aloud because I was quite nervous about reading, and my writing, I had to work 100 times harder than anyone else in the class just to get the quality of writing that the teacher wanted. But through hard work and through determination, I did manage to succeed.
Okay, next question. Jack, do you have any pets, and what are they?
I've got 3 children, and at the moment those children are enough, so I don't have any pets. Although, if you were to ask my children, they are dying to have a pet, whether it be a cat or a dog, and they keep on pestering me, to use the pun, about getting a pet. But as yet, I don't have any.
Mr. Brogan.
I have 2 pets. I have 2 rabbits, and because we're big Marvel fans in our house, and they are 2 brothers, we call them Thor and Loki.
What do you think would happen if schools stopped giving out homework?
If schools stop giving out homework, I'd like to think that the parents would be overjoyed in the amount of free time that they would have, but I think the children would actually miss the benefits and the rewards that we provide as a response to the fantastic effort that is put in. You only have to look down the corridors outside year 1 and you see the fantastic projects. So I do think there is a place for homework, although I think the parents would be quite delighted that they're not having to force children to do the homework. So I think there is a bit of work to be done on homework.
Mr. Brogan, any sort of thoughts?
I think some of the children would be delighted because they would have the free time to pursue other interests. I do agree that some parents might think it's a good thing because they get their own time, but some parents, I think, love homework and love the opportunity to share things with children. So homework's one of those subjects you're never going to get right because there's some parents and children like it, and some parents and children don't like it. So that's my sitting on the fence answer, basically.
Next question. Jack, what superhero would you be and why? Mr. Brogan.
Right. I've got a statue at home of a superhero that my brother got me. My brother and I used to play an X-Men game whenever we were children, and then when my brother got married and I was his best man, he got me a statue of Colossus, who is a Russian superhero who can turn completely metal and is impervious to pain, and so he got me Colossus, and I got him Wolverine, and that's who we used to play as kids, so that's who I'd be, Colossus.
Mr. Beasley.
Well, I think all teachers are superheroes in their own right, because I think we have superhero powers in that we come to work every single day and do the best we possibly can, and work some magic and have superpowers that actually inspire children to do the best they possibly can. So I think I already am a superhero in a teacher.
Next question. Coming back to Trey.
Where did you live when you were a child?
I lived all over the place. I was born in a place called Worcester, and then moved to Wales. I then moved to Dover, Canterbury. So I spent quite a few years, my primary years, in the south of England, in Kent, and then I moved up to Yorkshire. So of course I've lived everywhere. And then I came to Manchester as a student.
Okay, Mr. Brogan.
Well, as you can tell from my accent, I wasn't born in England. So I was born in a tiny little village in the north coast of Antrim in Northern Ireland. And then I was there for about 18, 19 years, and I moved across to Liverpool to go to university. And then I met my wife, who was from Manchester, and I now live in Manchester.
Okay, next question.
Last question, I think.
Last question.
Has everybody asked one? No.
Minna.
Do you think boys and girls or women and men should have equality?
Yeah, as I said before, on my answer, coming from the point of view of I've got a sister and I've got a daughter, I would want equality for men and women across the world and everything that they do in their jobs and their life and at home. So yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Beasley.
I would concur with that. I have a sister as well, a loving wife, daughter, and there has to be that equality. There has to be that that two-way communication, but also the ability to support each other. So yes, there does need to be equality in everything that we do.
Okay, is there any more questions here to be asked in the studio today? Last question here today, Maria.
What school did you go to?
As I said, because I moved around a lot, I went to 3 different primary schools. My parents moved about, which was quite a challenge actually, because I was always that new kid at the school. We used to line up against the wall, being picked to play football, and I was always the last one to be picked. So I do know how it feels to be a new person in a school. And then I had 3 different secondary schools as well. So I did move around a bit, but I think it helped me quickly interact and getting involved with new schools to make friends. So you wouldn't really know any of the names of the schools because they were all up in Yorkshire and all the way around in England. But I've lots of different schools.
Mr. Brogan.
Yeah, well, I was lucky. I went to 2 schools in Northern Ireland. I went to St Joseph's School in Dunmoy, my little village, and then I went to a school in Ballymena, which is another little town far away. It's called St Lee's Grammar School. So I just went to 2 schools. Very lucky. Just into primary school, into high school, and then off to university. Yeah.
Okay, that is all we have in the studio today. I have been Laura Seddon, and we'll be back at 10 o'clock tonight. Thank you.
Can we have a round of applause for our special guest, please?